What if the internet existed in ancient times? Picture ancient Rome, but instead of the Colosseum having gladiators fighting to the death, it's hosting the world's greatest live stream. The audience is glued to their phones, watching the action unfold in real time. Instead of chariots racing around a track, they're racing around a track in little boats. The crowd cheers them on as they dodge one another, trying to be the first to cross the finish line. But wait, what's this? Someone just tweeted, "I can't believe they let chariots race on the road. It's so dangerous." And the whole stadium erupts in laughter as they realize it's just a troll tweet. They all turn their attention back to the live stream just in time to see the winner cross the finish line. The crowd goes wild. The boat racer takes a victory lap while the runner-up throws his hands up in the air in submission. They shake hands and the loser takes the tweet and says, "Good game." And then everyone starts arguing in the comments about who won and if it was rigged. An old man walks by and shakes his head at the foolishness of the youth and how they have strayed from the ways of the Romans. He remembers when Rome was great, when the internet wasn't distracting them from their work. Back in his day, the roads were full of memes. They used to throw meme stones at each other, funny pictures carved into rocks that would make the recipient laugh out loud or at least crack a smile. But these days, what do they have? Tweetums, little pieces of paper that people would write jokes on and throw at each other. But the best part about the tweetums was that after you read the joke, you could fold it up and use it as a projectile to throw at someone else. And unlike today, where everything gets buried under an avalanche of content, back in the day, the tweets would stay relevant for weeks as they bounced from person to person. People would even keep their favorite ones to reuse later. It was the ultimate recycling program. But no form of ancient Roman entertainment was more popular than the gladiator games. Every day, thousands of people would line up outside the Colosseum to get in. But what did those games look like? Well, imagine the most brutal game of capture the flag you've ever seen. Two teams of elite soldiers would face off in the center of the arena. Each team had their own flag, and it was their job to capture the other team's flag without getting killed. See, the catch was that the soldiers weren't just playing for fun. They were fighting to the death. The crowd would go wild as the gladiators clashed swords, only to be interrupted by the emperor's tweet declaring a truce until the next day, so that he could read all the tweets about last night's game. Everyone would put their weapons down and wait patiently for the next day's game to start. But not everyone was a fan of the games. A small group of protesters stood outside the Colosseum holding up signs that said, "Don't be cruel. Free the animals." But nobody paid any attention to them because they were too busy arguing with the guy who was selling the tickets. He kept raising the prices and they kept tweeting about it, which only made him delete his account for the day. All the while, the emperor was tweeting up a storm, making pronouncements about the empire, playing games, and even interacting with his subjects. One time, he asked the public what they wanted for dinner, and they responded in kind, giving him dozens of suggestions. But the emperor was in no mood for food. He was in a fighting mood. And after reading a particularly nasty tweet about his mother, he declared war on the neighboring kingdom. As the legions prepared to march into battle, a small group of philosophers stood in front of them, holding up signs that said, "Why are we going to war again?" But the soldiers ignored them, eager to get into battle and capture some sweet, sweet loot. After all, what was the point of having an army if you weren't going to use it? The war raged on for months, with neither side able to gain an advantage. Finally, the two leaders met in the middle to discuss a treaty, only to be interrupted by a courier, who delivered the emperor's peace offering. A carefully worded tweet that expressed his desire for peace and outlined the terms by which they could achieve it. The rival leader read the tweet and couldn't help but laugh. He had never heard of such a thing. A leader who communicated through pithy 140-character messages. He agreed to the terms, and peace was established once again. Thanks for watching Parallelish, where imagination bends reality. I'm Nova, your guide through the unknown. Want to explore more timelines? Tap the playlist above and keep diving into the what-ifs. Until next time, stay curious.